channel with divine elements of design in the decorator's voice. I'm a certified interior decorator, professional organizer, and planning and productivity strategist. And if those are topics that you're interested in, please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications. I share weekly information on my blog on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, I send out an email newsletter to my membership list. And on Thursdays, I post a new YouTube video. In addition to those, if you are interested in joining my free 5 days to an organized life and home email course, you can register for it in the description box below. So as the title suggests, on this video, I'm going to give you the 5 effective steps to decluttering your garage. Now, if you are already a subscriber, you may be aware that I recently converted cleaned and redecorated and decluttered my hot mess of a garage from this to this. Yes, it was such a huge transformation, and I actually, put some pictures in one of my Facebook groups, and I got so many questions and comments and likes that I decided to do a follow-up video to that. So on this video, I'm going to show you, or actually tell you exactly what I did to achieve my overall goal. You can also use the information that I'm going to provide not only for your garage, but for your basement, for your cellar, for a storage unit, or actually any room in your home. So the very first thing you want to do is designate a time. Now, even if the time and date is in the future, that's fine. So for me, in my neighborhood, we have bulk pickup once every other month. It's like the first week of every other month. And when I decided I wanted to do this, it was probably around December of last year. I was just fed up with my garage looking a hot mess. So I, looked at the calendar, and I wanted to make sure that it would be a time where it was not too hot, and a time that I could, go through, or we can go through and clean out the garage and be able to set the trash and debris and all that stuff on the curb so it can be picked up. So it was actually a few months, in the planning, but that's fine because I had plenty of time to, gather all my thoughts and decide exactly what I wanted to do. Even though the project kind of took a toll of its own at the end, I did more things to the project than I wanted to, but at least I did have that time. So I set aside a time. I knew what I was going to do. It was in my calendar. I had to get help. So, I solicited help. I hired some of my 16-year-old son's friends to come out and help me, and they knew it was going to be an all-day thing. I provided food and I paid them. But I said, hey, this is what we're going to do. It's this day, pretty much all or nothing. So first, like I said, you always want to just designate a date and time, but don't worry if that date and time is in the future, because it will get done. The second thing you want to do is actually mentally define the space's purpose. So for me in my garage, I know I wanted to continue to park my car in there. Now, I did park one of the cars in the garage, but, when we get out the car, we had to be careful. We didn't want to knock anything over. And then my daughters, they love driving their cars, their little, toy cars, and they love riding their bikes, and they enjoy the garage. Even though it was probably a hazard, they still enjoyed the garage. So for me, what I wanted to do was make sure that, it was still a garage. It's still a garage. It's not just a living space. It is a garage. So I wanted to be able to put my car there. I wanted to be able to have things not on the floor. That was a really big thing of mine, is not having things on the floor, not having clutter on the floor. Now, I actually shared this in my email newsletter, but I will share it here for you followers. Oh, God, it's so embarrassing. One day, it was at night, and a frog hopped in my garage, and I couldn't find it. I could not find the frog, because there were so many things on the floor. And even though I wanted to find the frog and sweep him out, but I was afraid of the frog. So, in my mind, I was always thinking, oh my God, I'm going to find a frog is going to jump out on me, or I'm going to find a frog corpse in the garage once I move things out of the way. But luckily, there were no frog corpse, thank God, and the frog was gone when we cleaned up. But that was one of my purposes when cleaning out the garage, was I didn't want to have a bunch of things on the floor to where frog could hide, or a frog's body could be found or hidden. So for me, I defined that space. I wanted to make sure my vehicle could be parked. My daughters could park their cars there. bikes. And then I also wanted to have a shelving unit for things like the Christmas trees. And I wanted to be able to have my ladders put up and a spot for the tools, you know, all the household tools. And then also the stockpile items, like all of the paper towels and toilet paper and, you know, cleaning supplies that were too much to be inside of the house. So think about that before you actually physically start working on your project, whatever the project is. So define that space and define, you know, the perimeters and one of the things you want. You know, this is an excellent time to look at Pinterest, look at different YouTube videos. I will actually link a video of my garage transformation in the description box below. But use this time to kind of get an idea of what you wanted to do. I know I wanted matching tubs and lids, so if that's something you want, use this time to actually go online to the different websites and find what you want, or go to the different stores and find what you want. So actually working on your garage starts before you physically work on your garage. Okay, the third thing you want to do is, this is actually the physical part. So I'm sure you've seen many other videos and everyone always says, you know, take everything out. So what you want to do, if you can, take everything out of the garage, get rid of everything, or actually clean the garage out. So what I did was divided the things that I wanted into categories: trash, donate, design stuff, things that could be, you know, given away, and tools and Christmas decorations. So when you're doing any type of space, whether you're cleaning your closet or cleaning your garage, you want to go ahead and have those mental ideas of what you want to do with things. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to, you know, donate things to the Goodwill, or do like Facebook Marketplace selling? So what we did was I wrote chalk on the ground, and like wrote, you know, all the different areas. So actually physically put things in those locations. So if you're cleaning out of a garage, you can say, you know, this is where I'm going to donate to someone. This is what I'm going to give to a family member. This is trash. This can be reused, recycled, and so forth. So you want to go ahead and determine the categories of those things and actually clean out the space. After you've, you know, decided what you want to do, that's when you're actually going to physically do it. So you're going to clean out everything, put them in those categories. The trash, go ahead and get your trash bags, tie it up, throw it out. Things you're going to donate, whether you're going to call someone to come and pick them up or what. So what we did was we actually had a lot of things that we were going to donate, but in my neighborhood, people put like really good stuff outside, and we ended up just putting it all on the curb, and people got it before the bulk trash came and picked it up. People wanted that stuff. Now, when you're thinking about what you're going to do with some of these items, and this actually goes into step 6, you're going to ask yourself a few questions like, do you really need these items? Are they of use? Are you ever going to use them again? What's the purpose of these items? Will you miss this item if you never see it again? Can you repurchase this item for like less than $20? Will these chemicals, will these cleaning solutions, will this makeup, etc., will it go bad within a period of time? So these are some of the things you want to think about, because a lot of times you can be somewhat of a hoarder, or you can be in a relationship, maybe your spouse or your children could be a hoarder and they don't want to get rid of things. Perfect example. In my home, I have a car that's over 10 years old, and it had the, you know, manufacturer's stereo. Now, of course, when we bought the car 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, we replaced that car system and got, you know, something with the DVD player for the kids and whatnot. So that original car stereo, it's just been sitting, and it's big. It's like this big. And it's been sitting on a shelf in a garage for 10 years. We're never going to do anything with that. If we, let's just say we sell the car, which we won't, because I'm going to drive the car till the wheels fall off. Then I'm going to buy more and then drive it again. But if we did sell the car, we're not going to go into it and refinish the, or replace the aftermarket set with the original market set. And it's not like an antique car, like a car from the 1950s that's in pristine condition, like a oldie but goodie. It's not one of those, a classic. So it doesn't matter if it has like the original stereos. Now, I'm sure some people may think that you should keep the original items. It may be so, but I haven't used that original car stereo in 10 years, over 10 years, and I will not use it for the next 10 years. So it's just taking up mental and physical space in the garage. So we got rid of it. So it was a lot of things like that that I know we keep. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. We did keep a lot of the DVDs and Blu-rays. Yes, we have so much on like streaming and Netflix and all those different things. But a lot of times, some movies, you know, you can't get them. You can go to Amazon and they're like, oh, you have to rent it for X amount of money, or you can buy it for X amount of money. If we have the DVD and we have DVD players or Blu-ray players, you know, hey, we'll just watch it. So maybe in the next few years, I'll do another video on how to get rid of your old DVDs. But as of right now, we did keep the DVDs. And they're not in the garage. They're actually in the house. But, you know, back to the topic. Try to just go through and determine if you're going to keep what you're going to keep and why you're going to keep it. So now you've already taken everything out of the garage. You have things in different sections. You have your donate, your trash, your recycle, all of that. Now it's time to put the things back in the garage. So for me, when I put the things back in a garage, I knew, okay, it's going back. And as Marie Kondo would say, it sparks joy. This is an item that I need in my house and I need in my home. So I only want to keep things that I want, that I need, that I'm going to use. So only put things back in the garage or back in the space that you're going to use. Okay, last and definitely not least. Now, since your space is clean, it's clutter-free, you don't have to worry about excess items and things you don't need. What you need to do now is develop some habits. Develop some rules and strategies to avoid having this problem in the first place. You know, evidently there was a problem. And for me, there was a problem. You know, I didn't have a home for everything in my garage, and my garage kind of turned into a catch-all spot for things. So now, even though my garage is like almost completely empty, when I get out the car, when the kids get out the car, if they put something down, they got to pick it up. If it's a toy, it's going to go in the house in the toy box, or it has to go into the right designated area. And, you know, we no longer just sit a trash bag there. No, put the trash in the can outside. If it's a dirty pamper or whatever, stop, open up the garage door and put it outside. We're not going to just have stuff just sitting and waiting till we get to, you know, do something with it later. Because what that does is it gets you in a habit of just temporarily putting things down somewhere where it doesn't need to be. And then next thing you know, boom, you're going to have a hot mess of a garage again. So I really hope this video gave you some suggestions, some tips, and some strategies that you can use. Once again, my garage looked like this, and now it looks like this. And I'm so happy, and I will come back in 6 months and do a review, because there are a few things I want to add to the garage, a few decor things I want to add to the garage. I thought about putting a mini drink fridge in there so the kids don't have to come into the house, or if they're in the backyard, they can just go to the garage to get their drinks and whatnot. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this information, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe. Thank you very much.